Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome out. We are here today at the IGA. It is the Middle High Science Fair, and there's a lot of students here who are ready to talk to us, and a lot of projects, as you can see. They're going to tell us all about them, and we're going to hand on the microphone, just let them have it. So stay tuned. Let's see what these students have for us here today at the IGA.
Hi, my name is Harmony Walker, and I'm in the ninth grade.
Hi, my name is Asada Diallo, and I'm also in the ninth grade.
Hello, my name is Khalees Lawrence, and I am also in the ninth grade.
So this is our science fair project about how does nicotine affect plant cells. So our hypothesis was that if nicotine is introduced to a plant, then its growth will be negatively affected because nicotine may interfere with cellular processes such as photosynthesis, natural absorption, or water uptake, potentially leading to stunted growth.
So the purpose of this project, first we met with a doctor here at our local cancer care center, and we wanted to do something based on human cancer cells, but he directed us to plant cells. So this is how we came up with our project. So to start the project, we got our materials that we needed for our project. And so infected with liquid nicotine, we decided to create our own, where we took cigarettes, we opened them up and we boiled them with alcohol, which created our nicotine. And then we filtered it out and created our nicotine solution. And so then we used water lily plants, and we then decided the concentration for each plant. One plant having 50 milliliters, one 100 milliliters, and the other 150 milliliters. We infected it and we collected the plant cells, the stems, the leaf, and the dirt. And we did this over a total of 3 weeks.
So, our purpose was that in all of our lives, we have people that use nicotine or used to, and we just wanted maybe that if we show them the damage that it does in plant cells, they can think themselves of how it does it in human cells, which is even worse.
And some of the materials that we used for our project were respiratory masks for safety, glasses also for safety. We had microscope slides, water watering cans, three lily plants, 3 packs of menthol boxes, and we had cigarettes, which were the cigarettes. We had water, and we had filtering papers and scissors.
And our variables, our independent and dependent variables. So our dependent variables was the plant psychological physiological response, and our independent variables was the nicotine dosage level, so like how much we put in the plant, how many times we water it. And our control variables was the plant species and initial conditions, our light exposure, soil composition and volume, irrigation schedule, so like how often we water the plants, and our atmospheric conditions, sunny, rain, dark, and our nicotine application protocol, and the container specifications.
So to conclude our project, the plant that we gave the most concentration of liquid nicotine to was the plant that died first, and the cells were extremely damaged. And then the plant that experienced the least damage was the plant with the lowest concentration. And these are just some pictures of us during our project and some of the plant cells. And then we have a picture here explaining a plant cell. And that's it. That's how does nicotine affect plant cells.
Let me tell you a story. A couple of years ago, my family and I traveled to India. From there, we visited the countryside where I saw farmers struggling to water their own crops and women carrying buckets of water from all the way from the village wells to their own homes. That's when I began to realize how important water truly was for our survival. My goal here was to create a biodegradable hydrogel that could help farmers grow crops in dry environments by using simple ingredients that were not only cost effective but would not harm the environment. If you look at my materials over here, I was able to come up with 4 ingredients from my research: agar, HEC, CMC, and citric acid. Then, from that point, I was able to create 6 different combinations using these 4 ingredients to make a hydrogel. With all my ingredients and combinations set, I ran 4 rounds for a total of 3 hours each. In all 4 rounds, combinations 1, 3, and 6 held the highest results. Combination 1 was composed of agar, combination 3 was composed of CMC, and combination 6 had CMC and agar in total. This is why I added 50 grams of hydrogel to each bowl. And in total, combinations 1, 3, and 6 were able to absorb at most 50% of their body weight or even higher. I held a total of 4 rounds, so any mistakes I held could be rid of and I could have a final product that could be created consistently.
I'm Marcus Clements. I worked with MetLife for many years. After retiring from MetLife, Darren and I began to talk about forming an insurance agency. So Darren and I in 1999 formed Clements and King Insurance. Probably worked harder after retiring than before. Many are influenced by what they see on TV or what they see online. We provide an alternative to that. We have an office and we try to help our clients navigate the confusing market of Medicare-related products. I do the Medicare-related insurance. People normally get Medicare when they're 65. And what we do is provide insurance to supplement their base Medicare.
I didn't choose this line of work. It chose me. Those days when it seems impossible to get everything done are the days I live for. It's my passion. If you do what you're passionate about every day, you'll never work a day in your life.
Hi, I'm Greg Carter with Shamrock Honda Kawasaki CF Moto. Come check out our full lineup of ATVs, side-by-sides, and motorcycles. We serve Dublin, Lawrence, and Central Georgia areas, and we'd love to serve you.
Hello, my name is Tanya, and I'm in 6th grade. I'm from IGA. I would like to introduce you to my project, the egg geoid. The egg geoid is a sedimentary or igneous rock containing minerals or crystal deposited by rich mineral water. The reason why I make an egg geoid was because the crystal is a very important thing in the world, and it contains most of the world's capability. It's also something that the world needs the most, which is often hidden in caves unknown and has special abilities and contains millions of dollars. My procedures of making an egg geoid was I cracked the egg, removed the yolk and the membrane, and then I washed the eggshells if needed. I dried the eggshells and applied glue, making sure my inner eggshells were completely covered. And I used a mineral called allium, which is used to form crystals, and it's also known for using seasonings. These are my histograms, my plot, to make sure that my calculations were correct and everything was calculated. These are the results after they've been boiled in water with fruit dye, and my analysis, my data, the appearance, and how they should look. And there's a way to tilt it that makes it shine like an actual crystal, because it is. The materials I used were cups, alien, Epsom salt, paintbrush, food gel, or dial. My data was to analyze the geoid and how large the capacity was. The appearance should look shiny like an actual crystal, and the wide should be 4 inches in wide. The weight should approximately be 1 kilogram because of the weight of the geoid and the eggshells inside the allium. The analysis, the egg-shaped geoid. These are natural formations that form in an egg-like shape. For my calculations, I used 2.5 cups of water and 1.5 quarters of allium for each cup for hot water and dry glue. These are the calculations of math that made sure that my box plot and histogram were right.
My name is Lucas Blankenship. I'm in the 6th grade at the Irish Gifted Academy, and my project was oil spill influenced. My purpose was to gain information on how fast oil spills. I wanted to do this project because I've seen a lot about oil spills and things like that. So I decided to test it myself and find out what would stop oil spreading the most. So I have graphs here, and I I have a list of materials, but I'll still read it off anyway. I needed a I needed a 2-inch diameter cup, 5 milliliters of on-brand dish soap, 5 milliliters of shampoo, 5 milliliters of laundry detergent, 5 milliliters of body wash, 5 milliliters of off-brand dish soap, 5 milliliters of dish pod. I feel like it's worth noting that I didn't put the entire dish pod in. I cut the dish pod open and only put the white substance in, so that's how I got the 5 milliliters. 5 milliliters of hand soap, 1 tablespoon of cold tap water to mix with each external component, and a quarter of a teaspoon of oil mixed with each external component. My procedures were I mixed 1/4 teaspoon of oil and 1 tablespoon of cold tap water for control, and I mixed 1/4 teaspoon of oil with on-brand dish soap and water, and I used a stopwatch to measure time. Now the rest of the steps are just that, but with a different external component. For example, the body wash, the shampoo, the dish pod, and my results were very interesting. My control was 0.0 seconds, and my hypothesis was if we get external components in with oil, I think the oil will slow down. So the external components actually helped the oil to spread, kind of making it ironic. But back to the results. The oil, water, and on-brand dish soap was 28.53 seconds. The oil, water, and shampoo was 31.15 seconds. The oil, water, laundry detergent was 37.92 seconds. The oil, water, and body wash was 48.07 seconds. The the oil, water, and off-brand dish soap was 27.14 seconds. The oil, water, and dish pod was 8.98 seconds, and oil, water, and hand soap was 27.25 seconds. I found out many things about the spreading of oil. For example, I found that control did not spread at all. I found that the on-brand dish soap and dish pod did the best with a time of 28.53 seconds and 28.98 seconds, respectively. In conclusion, I have discovered that oil can be slowed using various different components. And I have 2 graphs here, as previously stated. And my purpose, again, was I did this project to gain information on how fast oil spills.
It may be 2025, but the deals are still great at Dublin Chevy GMC. So whether it's a Silverado or a Sierra, a 1500 or 2500, we have the truck for you in 2025. With savings as much as $10,000 off MSRP and rates as low as 0%, there's never been a better time to buy a GM truck. And if you want to do your holiday traveling in style, come check out our great selection of SUVs. Happy New Year from Dublin Chevy GMC.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space. So hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Hello, my name is Kent Harvey, and my project is testing the pH levels in soil. My grade is 6th grade, and I'm at the IGA, and my purpose for this project was to see how the farmers around me utilize how to see the pH and how they need to grow the crops for that pH. I thought that my cow field would have the best pH, and my conclusion was yes, it did. But my procedures was that the field was 7.5 at the start, then it started going heaven. It was the highest of all the rest that I did, and the rest were low. And my Aunt Robin, her garden was lower than the rest. And these are my pictures. And my observations were after putting the soil in the chest chamber, you could see that um, the way the color was, the more green the water looked after mixing out all that was needed to test the soil, it was better because it had a higher pH the greener it was, and the darker green, it's very 50-50 how it looked. And here's my pictures. I went and got the soil samples from all the surrounding areas that I had, and I conclude that the highest pH was my cow field and the lowest pH was my Aunt Robin's garden.
My name is Malcolm Rayner, and I'm in the 8th grade.
My name is Jackson Jones, and I'm also in the 8th grade.
Our project is called Brainwaves. So we figured that there's different types of music, and they do different things to your brain as you listen to them. So we picked 4 types of music genres. We have gospel, classical, rap, and country. So gospel reduces stress levels and anxiety, and it gives you a better mood. So we hypothesized that gospel will give the most positive effect to your mental health because in gospel songs that you listen to, they talk about good and doing the right thing. We think that rap is going to be the worst because when you listen to rap, they talk about drugs, gang violence, and it influences anger. Country gets rid of stress but causes sadness because in country music it's usually somebody talking about getting their heart broken. Classical music is second place because it talks about it's slow and it keeps you calm. It doesn't do much to your mental health besides calming you down if you get angry. Gospel music does all of these things and gives you good intentions.
The purpose of our experiment was like to tell what kind of music you want to listen to depending on what kind of mood you want to feel. And the results that we got were gospel was the most like it reduced stress the most. Um the who got last was rap because of the way they talk about violence and drugs and stuff like that. Um, the first thing we did was compile 4 different kinds of playlists with different songs from those kind of genres, and then we got people to listen to them, and then we recorded how they felt afterwards.
We want to give a thanks to our teachers and the 4 people that helped us: Carmelo White, Nala Robinson, Malik Isaac, and Breda Moore. For this, we use noise-canceling headphones, an iPhone to play the music on. We use the Spotify app, and we use the video app to record how they acted.
Well, trucking is a 7 days a week, 24 hours a day operation. So there's a tremendous need for the logistics field, for drivers and mechanics to work on it. Fred had a desire to be a mechanic. We encouraged him to seek some additional training that's offered through OFTC, which he did. What he learned at OFTC has just taken his job and his performance to another level. Well, trucking is a 7 days a week, 24 hours a day operation. So there's a tremendous need for the logistics field, for drivers and mechanics to work on it. Fred had a desire to be a mechanic. We encouraged him to seek some additional training that's offered through OFTC, which he did. What he learned at OFTC has just taken his job and his performance to another level.
Hi, I'm Harper, and I'm Molly Davis.
I'm in 8th grade, and then she's in 7th grade. And this is our project, Rhythm and Pulse, the impact of music on heart rate. And we decided to do this um, in case people who have depression, anxiety, or any heart problems need anything to help calm them down. And we did classical, jazz, and rock. And we recorded their heart rate listening to music for after 1 minute, and here's their resting heart rate, and then after the minute. So classical and jazz normally made the heart rate go down, while rock music made it go up. And the only one where jazz didn't go down was person 3, which they said they didn't like jazz music, so that was probably why. But in our conclusion, it was the faster the tempo the faster the heart rate went. And the slower the music was, the slower your heart was. And that's really it.
And then we have our materials are a blood pressure monitor, Bluetooth headphones, a device for playing music, and then 3 test subjects.
You have anything else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Atmiya Shah. I'm in the 8th grade, and my school is Our Shift Academy. My project is how is cancer developed and how does environment and genetics affect it. In my project, my environment was cigarettes, and my genetics were BRCA1 and BRCA2. My purpose for this project was to find out how cancer develops and how certain things affect it. My hypothesis was that viruses attack the cell while it is going through cell division, which causes it to become cancerous. And I predicted that cigarettes cause the cancer to develop faster, and BRCA1 and BRCA2 protect the cell from the cancer. For my project, I researched many things such as mutation rates, cell division, cell cycle, mutations, how cigarettes affect cancer development, and cancerous mutation threshold. So the mutation rate for an average cell is 1.2. The cell death is the chance a mutated daughter cell escapes apoptosis, which is cell death. The cancer mutation threshold is the amount of mutations a cell holds before it becomes cancerous. For an average cell, it holds 10 to 10.8 mutations before it becomes cancerous. The cell cycle is the phases that occur in a cell, which such as it growing and cell division. BRCA1 and BRCA2 are BRCA1, BRCA2 mutations are genetics which in women with family histories of breast cancer affect how cancer in their body occurs, specifically breast cancer. For how does smoking affect cancer, I found that per how many cigarettes smoked, there is a specific mutation rate to it, which per 50 cigarettes smoked, there is 2 mutations, which an average smoker smokes about 1 pack, which is 50 cigarettes is 2.5 packs. And so they have an additional 0.8 mutation rate, so that increases their mutation rate to 2. And cancer is developed when when a cell goes through cell cycle and goes through division, and the mutation rate and the daughter cells adapt mutation, and over time they accumulate to the cancer mutation threshold, or 10 or 10.8, which was the average. And over time, their cells become cancerous, which causes the adults in my project to get cancer. For my project, I had a program which took the information I found from my research and used it to showcase how a normal cell would go through to becoming cancerous, which was this. this was the information I had, and this was what repeated until it became cancerous. And so these were my results. This was for a normal average adult, a smoker, and a female with genetics such as the BRCA1 and BRCA2. Through my soft program, I found that an average adult, they get cancer at the age between 50s and 60s. A smoker, because of how cancer raises their mutation rate, they get their cancer a bit fast. Their cells get cancer a bit faster, which is between 40 to 50. And BRCA1 and BRCA2 rate multiply the mutation rate by 5 times, making a female with BRCA1, BRCA2's mutation rate to 6. So a female with BRCA1 will get cancer between 40 and 50, and a female with BRCA2 will get cancer between the ages of 50 and 80. Over time, the software also found how long it took for cancer cells to become cancerous. So for a normal person, it took almost 20 to 35 years for the cells to become cancerous. And considering that an average adult, cancer starts to form in their body when cancer cells start happening at the age of 40, because that's when the immune system starts to get weaker and stop noticing the mutations. They got the age of diagnosis between 50 and 70, and on some cases 87 and such as that. A smoker, it took for their cells to become cancerous about 20 years, and because of how much faster their mutation rate was, and their age of diagnosis was between 50 and 60-ish. For a female with BRCA1 and BRCA2, on average, for them to get cancer cell, it only took about 10, 11 years. On some cases, it only took 10 to 11 months for someone with BRCA1, and they would get their diagnosis between the ages of 40 and 50, and a female with BRCA2 got their diagnosis between the ages of 50 and 80, because those cancer cells took a little longer to develop. So you can see that their cell cycles were very low. And we can find the age of how long it took to become cancerous between how many cell cycles it took divided by 365, because there's a cell cycle every day. So my results were that cancer is developed when a cell goes through cell cycle and division, and the daughter cells accumulate mutations, and on average, for a normal person, it takes 10 mutations or 10.8 mutations to become cancerous. For someone who smokes cigarettes, it took about 10, 20 years, and they had a raised mutation rate of 2, and they developed faster. Also, same thing, a female with BRCA1 and BRCA2, those cells develop faster by 5 times because of the mutation, the genetics. And my conclusion was that my hypothesis was wrong. However, I was right about the effect of cigarettes. And I was wrong about genetics protecting the cell. However, they do go against them. Additional results I found were that the average adult starts forming cancer between at the age of 40, and gets diagnosed with cancer between the ages of 50 to 60. And cancer cells, every person with cancer starts developing at the age of 40, because adults over time, their immune system gets weaker, which causes them the immune system to stop letting more cancer cells with mutations go by. And to validate my software, I researched how old an average adult with cancer is. I was right about the normal person without the genetics or cigarettes. I was right about the people with cigarettes, and I was right about females with BRCA1 and BRCA2. My materials for this project were a computer, notebook, and something to write with for my research. And for my procedures, I researched the topics such as mutation rates, BRCA1, BRCA2, cell cycle, cell death, cancer mutation threshold, and how cancer forms. And then I created my model, which took those information and showed how long it would take for a cell to become cancerous. And these were my resources of the different studies I read and what I used to help me make this project.
When someone says the word bank, what comes to mind? For most folks, it's probably money or loans. Maybe it's false. The problem is, these are all just things. And a bank is not a collection of things. A bank is a collection of stories. If you've been around long enough, you've heard one of us say, "It pays to bank blue." The hero of our story is you. Every home bought, every business opened, every dream secured has been your story. We've just had a front row seat, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
It may be 2025, but the deals are still great at Dublin Chevy GMC. So whether it's a Silverado or a Sierra, a 1500 or 2500, we have the truck for you in 2025. With savings as much as $10,000 off MSRP and rates as low as 0%, there's never been a better time to buy a GM truck. And if you want to do your holiday traveling in style, come check out our great selection of SUVs. Happy New Year from Dublin Chevy GMC.
Hello, my name is Carmelo White. Hello, my name is Mishan Lewis Ross.
Hello, my name is Nala Robinson.
Hello, my name is Malik Isaac, and we're in the 8th grade.
The title of our project is called How AI Works. The purpose of this experiment is to explain how AI works. Because everybody uses AI in different ways. Some people use it for schools, some people use it for work, but we want to explain to people how artificial intelligence is made. Our hypothesis is we believe people won't be able to explain how artificial intelligence works, but the experiment was we asked around the school we asked our fellow students, our teachers, and our friends how AI works to see if they knew. And the results was not many people knew how it worked. And yeah. The research is the primary approach to building AI systems is through algorithms and data and machine learning. And the parts that make up AI are machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, cognitive computing, natural language processing, and computer vision. Our materials were an iPad and Character AI, which is a AI software which generates AI pictures. The procedures, the first thing we did was we researched AI to get our information for the project, and then we highlighted the important parts. And then lastly, we implemented it into Google Docs and summarized it in our own words. The conclusion is we found that different algorithms and data make up artificial intelligence, and not many people knew how it works. Anybody want to put in?
So when we got together as a group and we decided to search the topic of how AI works, we went to the website and we placed it right there. We found that that's how we got all of our information. So that's how we did all of our project. So I copy and pasted it from the website and I placed it right there. So, and it basically explains like how we did our project and stuff.
Hello, my name is Edwards Vascons, and I'm in the 6th grade. This is my project, which tastes better, store brand versus name brand. My overall purpose of the project was to figure out if original or name brand sweetened flakes of corn taste better than store brands / knockoffs. And my hypothesis was that the store brands would taste better than the original name brand. I did my research, and a few things I learned was that one of the biggest things in deciding what customers buy is brand loyalty. Basically meaning that just because it's the original, they think it's better, so they buy it all the time. But another thing I learned was that some of these companies take the exact same product and just put it in different boxes, so you could be paying $2 for the original, while it could be the exact same product in a different box for $1.50. Right here, these are some of the materials I used. They were like cereal, bowls, milk, pencils, and the other stuff on the list. The first thing I did was I came up with my idea and got my materials. Then I had my mom help me by pouring in 20 grams of cereal, 1/4 cup of milk, and I was blindfolded the entire time, and then I taste tested them. Between the taste tests, I drank water to refresh my taste, and I just did those few last steps until I finished tasting all the cereals. In my results, I tasted 9 different cereals, 7 which were store brands, 1 being an organic, and the other 2 were name brands, in which one of them was the original. I rated them on sweetness, crunchiness, and overall taste. The sweetness and crunchiness was from a scale of 1 to 5, and the overall taste was from a scale of 1 to 10. In all these, the original came in last, tied for last in sweetness, tied in last for crunchiness, and came in second last for overall taste, while my competitor, letter I, came tied for first in sweetness, tied for first in crunchiness, and was the only one that received a score of 10 on the overall taste. So my hypothesis was correct because I predicted that a store brand would be better than the name brand original. So what I would suggest to you all is that to try something new, because something might taste better, and you never know, you might save anywhere from 10 cents to maybe even $3 whole. Thank you for listening to my project.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffett Insurance in Dublin and Augusta if auto owners make sense for you.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
All right,
right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been with us here at this Middle High Science Fair here at the Irish Gifted Academy. We've got Curriculum Director here with us, Miss Marcy. Miss Marcy, tell us about the day. It's been a great one.
It has been a great day. We have our middle and high school students that are coming here from Dublin Middle School, Dublin High School, and Irish Gifted Academy to participate in the science fair. And today we have a panel of judges. We have 5 judges that will be judging the projects all day long today. And so anyone scoring with a first place or a second place will end up going to our next level, which will be at the regional fair, and that will take place in Milledgeville. So we're super excited about that. We have some great projects, some about cancer and some about pacemakers, from one thing to another.
Exactly.
We're just super excited about the work that our students have done. They started this work in August, and they work on it throughout until fair time, and so we're going to get them registered for that next level, any of those first and second place winners.
Yeah, that's right. It takes hard work, and let's talk about that, because you mentioned these kids starting back in August. Tell us about the hard work that these kids put into it. Are they all on their own? Do they have help from here at the school? Tell us about the process of leading up to today.
Right, so their teachers here at school really prepare them to do the project, so they go through the scientific method with them and just get them going really well with the projects. A lot of parents help at home as well to get them prepared and provide those resources as well as the school. So it's kind of a team effort with the students and the parents and the teachers.
Awesome, awesome. And then after today, you've mentioned in Milledgeville those regionals coming up. Tell us about that. Of course, we have our judges here today. Who would all be there at regionals, and then after regionals, I mean, what's happening there? Do we keep going up?
Yes. So after regionals, they do go to state if they place high enough there. And so we have students from around the state that will be at the regional fair, and that usually takes place in February for the middle high school students.
Gotcha.
And then on in March, they will have the state fair.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, and there's so much to this. Of course, after today, if you place high enough, but you've got all of that build up, and then today you've got all of these students here. They're talking to me with the camera, or they're talking to these judges. I mean, there's a lot that goes into something like the science fair. Talk about, you know, the full experience. How great is it for all of these students to be able to experience that? They're talking to the judges. They're putting together this presentation. They're doing the research. There's a lot of pieces to it. Some valuable experience for these kids.
It really is a valuable experience. These kids learn how to talk to people, and that is very important for their future.
Right.
And that's what I was thinking about today as I've observed some of them speaking with the judges. How important is, you know, different activities like this for them to learn how to speak to adults and, you know, and talk about something important like what they've researched.
Exactly. Yes. Ms. Marcy, thank you for inviting us out today. Thank you for letting us bring this camera in here. And thank you for tuning in today right here on TV 35.